So your website reads, which is thealistflow.com. I'll put it right there when I'm editing. It's going to be right there for you guys.
I love it.
There you go. So it says, Amanda is a dedicated fitness and personal trainer who inspires her clients to find health and wellness through an active, athletic lifestyle. A native Jersey gal, not girl, but gal. I like it.
That's right.
That's it. Amanda brings her fierce and inspirational energy to every endeavor. After years of experience in the entertainment industry, Amanda quickly learned how to light up a room. As a former NBA dancer, as well as commercial performer, model, and fitness trainer, she knows exactly how to achieve success through hard work and dedication. So I was reading this last night, Amanda. I said, let me go on your Instagram real quick. Let me just check. I remember looking at your website a long while ago, probably before I even started my YouTube channel. I think, seeing your content, just really being motivated by, your energy and your passion to fitness, which we're definitely going to get in today's conversation. I remember looking at the site, but I had to do a refresher last night. So I read through that and then scrolled down a little bit to like the bio section. And I'm not going to read the whole bio section, but I'm going to encourage anyone watching to definitely visit the site. I'm just going to say a couple names from the bio section because I got nervous. I said, wait a second. I said, I know me and Amanda went to high school together, right?
That's
and
right.
I said, I know
P-way all day.
P-way all day. I said, I know I'm bringing Amanda on here, but I didn't know I was bringing someone who's had this much exposure with this many celebrities. I'm like, dang, I have to I gotta be ready for this. I gotta get myself together here, This is really cool. I'm just gonna mention a couple names here. Nicki Minaj, Amy Schumer, Judd Apatow, Kevin Hart, Drake, Tina Fey. It's really awesome. I'm super excited. Model, dancer, fitness coach. We have Amanda Robinson. Amanda, how are you doing today?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say, Kevin, thank you so much for having me. It really is a true pleasure. I love what you're doing and just kind of creating a space for creativity and sharing people's stories and voices and experiences. I think it's so important that now more than ever, we have to connect. Mm-hmm. And, we got to be here to elevate and uplift one another. So thank you again for having me. But I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. I just moved into a new home.
Hey.
Moved out of my small 1-bedroom apartment. It was time during COVID. The walls got real small, real fast. So finally got into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Nice.
Got some space, got a backyard. Yeah, thank you. So things are good. I definitely can't complain.
With regards to fitness and regards to kind of what got you into this space and even when did you get into this space, if you could kind of shed a little light into, I guess, what time frame of your life did you kind of realize that you were into fitness? Let's start with that and then we'll kind of unpack that a little bit further.
Yeah, you know what? So it's kind of amazing. I started dancing very, very young. I grew up with all brothers and my mom threw me into a recreational dance class at our public library in Piscataway because she was like, you need discipline and I need you away from all your brothers that are doing all the WWE moves and choke slams and clotheslines. So she put me into dance, which was really good. And I feel like with dance, I started exploring movement. And I've always naturally had a lot of energy. It's hard for me to sit still. And that was just a really good space for me to explore and develop my passion for that. So really awesome. Went on to dance with the New York City Ballet, trained with a classically trained American Ballet School in New York City, which was awesome. And then from there, my dream was to go to college for dance. Mm-hmm. I auditioned for NYU. I didn't get in the dance program, surprisingly. And I thought my world was over. So my mom was like, you don't need a degree to dance, go to college, kind of just explore the world. You can always fall back on an academic degree. Yeah. So I did that. As I was in college, I went to audition for the New Jersey Nets at the time. They weren't in Brooklyn yet. Made it all the way to the finals. I was like this little 18-year-old girl. And then I got cut at the end. And when I went up and asked them, I was like, hey, this is cool, but do you have feedback? What can I do to maybe spice things up or just have an edge next time? And they said, you're still in college, right? You're a freshman. I was like, yes, I am. They're like, come back when you graduate. So I went through my 4 years, finished, got my undergrad. And then as I graduated, I had no job, no idea what I was going to do. Yeah. And I ended up getting a full-time job working in human resources. And then I auditioned for the New Jersey Nets and I made the team. So I had like these two awesome jobs at the same time. Yeah. And I was working like 9 to 5 during the day. Then I would go to rehearsal or games in the evening. And my days were like 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every single day, like 5 days a week, which was a lot. So you can imagine I was living a very unhealthy lifestyle, so to speak. And it kind of got to the point where I was feeling very run down. I started waking up with chest pains. And I was like, young 20 something, ended up going to the cardiologist. And that's when I found out that I do have a heart condition. And it kind of really put things into perspective, because I feel like our generation grew up where it was like energy drinks everywhere and, kids drinking coffee at like 13 years old. So I was guilty of that as well. So once I went to the cardiologist and kind of got that bomb dropped on me, I was like, wow, I need to like take a step back and reassess things. So I kind of started just taking caffeine out of my diet, seeing how I felt, and just trying to just be more conscious, like go to the gym, these sort of things. And in college, I never liked the gym, especially as a female. It's hard. You go to the gym and sometimes you feel like a piece of meat. So once I started dancing professionally, we were not required, but we did have a gym sponsor. So they gave us more alternatives. Like we were able to go take class, we were able to get body work done, things like that. So once I started seeing how my body was reacting when I was putting some TLC into it, I was like, wow, like I need a little bit more of this. And then a time came where I ended up, I was on the team and we were performing globally, and we used to do trampoline dunking. I don't know if you've ever seen it. We would run, hit the tramp, and then you dunk the basketball. We traveled all over the world because we got booked for the dunking. It's like you don't see a lot of females doing the trampoline dunking. So we had like a big tour we were doing one summer. We were going to China, Italy, London, Spain, like all these amazing places. We arrive in Italy, day one, we're in Milan, and we're supposed to be there for 12 days. We're doing our dunk show. Everything's going really well. And then we have like, we call it a 5-girl pass, where you run, hit the tramp, someone runs after you, hit, and you passing it constantly. So you have to have timing on point. So I'm the second to last girl. We run, hit the tramp, and I fell through the springs.
Wait, whoa. Fell through the springs, meaning on the trampoline. Around the edge, they have the coils. Yeah. It broke?
We usually have a cover over it, and we usually ship our tramp to wherever it is, but for some reason our tramp didn't make it this time. We had to utilize the tramp that they had in Milan. And their tramp didn't have a cover. So, ran, I don't know if it was adrenaline or what, hit it, and then as I was coming down, fell through the tramp instead of going onto the mat. So my ankle snapped immediately. And my adrenaline was so crazy. So I got back up and we were all like, all right, let's do it again. So the crowd starts clapping for us. We run back. My ankle at this point is definitely fractured or swollen. We run, we go to do the pass again. All 5 girls miss the pass. And at that point, the pain starts to set in. And I was like, something's not right. Something's not right. So at that point, it was like a culmination of intense training. We also danced in high heel boots. So just a lot of things that I realized I needed to pay more attention to. People don't realize how important recovery is. Like everyone's like, yes, get my workout in, I feel good. But how much time do you spend stretching or deep breathing or meditating or things like that? So I realized you don't realize it until you get injured. But when I was injured and I couldn't do anything, all I had was time to sit and think. So that's when I really started thinking about, this is my livelihood. Like, what if I actually broke my ankle? What if things kind of just transitioned where I didn't have this like temple of my body that I use for everything that I do? And from there, that's where I really, really was like, you know what? It's important for dancers, because a lot of dancers do not know strength training and how important it is to make sure that, yes, it's good to train and take different styles, but on the flip side of things, just like with football players, you need your speed and agility training, you need your endurance, you need your stamina, all of that stuff. Or like you were saying, you were telling me about that basketball game you played with your student, and it's like, they're young and they have the mobility, but as we start to get older, we start to have a little bit more of an uphill battle with that. So of course now I'm in my 30 somethings and I'm just like, it's important that you recover. It's important that you take time to heal and also put energy back into yourself. So that injury and then finding out about the heart condition and really, really kind of propelled me into the health and wellness world. Not that it was my goal,
Right.
it kind of just fell into my lap. And I've always had a knack for teaching and group fitness. I grew up like as a student dance teacher at my dance studio
Right.
when I was like 11 years old. And from there, I knew that I loved to teach and I love to connect with people and I love to make them feel motivated and empowered. And any way that I can do that, which right now it's definitely in the fitness world, has made me just feel more purposeful. I always say that all of my clients are my inspiration. They're my motivation to keep being creative, to keep coming up with new, compelling and engaging workouts. So it's interesting how like our world kind of goes around and,
It is.
at this point in time, I never knew where I was going to be. I figured I'd be like in Hollywood, maybe acting or who knows, or dancing with the New York City Ballet. But I'm grateful for my journey.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to know when you do hit some of those obstacles, you can't give up. You have to keep pushing through and keep persevering.
That's exactly wow, what a story. So I knew about the Brooklyn Nets. I didn't know about, I think the heart condition that you mentioned, if I'm not mistaken, I read that you shared that information on your website, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it's still there or
Yeah, or I think I put it up recently on Instagram. So that was
Okay.
something very new. I haven't really told a lot of people just because, it's like personal, but I've realized, I don't know what it is, but it's like in your 20s, you're in a different space where you're just focused on like going. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm very like settled into who I am. And I think it's important for especially the younger generation to take care of themselves. Like I say this to my two little brothers, they're wrestlers and one's a freshman in college, one's a junior now in college. And like, for wrestling, they have to cut weight and all this crazy dieting. And then they're up at 5 a.m. training. And I'm just like, are you taking care of yourself? Like I try to remind them, make sure you're checking in. If you're having headaches, all those little things, like our body speaks to us when something is off kilter or off balance. So it's just important that we pay attention to that. And also sometimes pain isn't always pain. Sometimes it's tightness, sometimes it's stiffness. So it's just really, really learning to have that mind, body, soul connection.
I love that. And I love what you said too about when things happen in our lives that we can't foresee, that we don't expect to happen, but they happen. And when we're going through it, it's so difficult to understand why it happened and to understand like that just because we're going through this hardship or this hurdle or this challenge in our lives, it's so important in that moment and definitely in retrospect to look at it, not just look at it as a learning experience, but like let that build character in ourselves. Let these challenges, let these things that happen to us kind of help us become stronger. Mentally, stronger physically, based on whatever the situation is. And it definitely sounds like, that's exactly, what happened in your case there. That was like that was a turning point, right? A pivot for you where you had time, nothing but time while you're healing to sit there and reflect and think about these different things. And now we have the A-list flow. I see you, Amanda. I'm sitting here. I remember, I think during COVID, when it first happened, when we were all figuring out teachers, working remotely, just didn't know what was going on. I would see you on there and I would be inspired to, if I have a few minutes, right, to kind of get up and do something rather than sitting here in a chair and not, just being sedentary for too long when I know I'm not supposed to be doing that. And your energy there is dope, is amazing, is infectious. And obviously you're very welcome. And obviously the content and the stuff, not stuff, that I can think of a better word than stuff, the things that you're doing on there, the types of workouts that you're kind of implementing, they're incredible. They're things that, aren't, I guess a little uncommon, like things that are different from the ones that I've seen, things that kind of stand out and that are unique. That's the word I'm trying to say, things that are unique.
I appreciate that because I always spend so much time trying to come up with compelling things because we get bored. And right now with COVID and the way it is, I actually started the A-list flow last year, end of 2019. I worked for a few different digital fitness platforms and it kind of was tossed around and feeling like, at the end of the day, these are all startup companies, so they treat us instructors as disposable, which was fine. I had my experience, but obviously, as soon as COVID hit, everyone had to pivot. And now the market was completely oversaturated with online trainers, virtual classes, Zoom classes, Instagram Live. So for me, it was very much just trying to see how I could set myself apart. And also leaning into my strong suit, which I know people love, the dance stuff that I do, the bar, and just trying to make it so it's different. Because I think that that is what is going to bring people back.
That's right.
Let them have a different experience.
I would love for you to share, I guess, a little bit about the A-list flow for someone that has no idea what it is and how it's something that could help them reach their physical fitness goals.
Absolutely. So the A-list flow literally just came out of a feeling, because I think it's important. We don't spend enough time treating ourselves top notch. And when you think of an A-list celebrity or somebody that's on the A-list, you think high caliber. So when my clients come in, or if you are a potential client, if you're taking the A-list flow, you have to know that this is going to be a whole health and wellness, holistic picture of life. That I want you to think movement medicine. I want you to think healthy habits. I want you to think mindfulness for healthy habits, as well as nutrition guidance. So you're going to get a whole holistic picture of things. And then you're also going to get variety. So it is a virtual wellness platform, essentially. Just like you would go to a studio or you would go to a gym and you'd swipe into your card, same thing, but everything lives on a digital platform virtually. So that way it can reach the masses. My goal is to make health and wellness accessible to everyone, anyone, anywhere. I've had an experience where I was training for a few gyms that are on the high end. And it's interesting because at the end of the day, everyone deserves to have access, you know what I mean, to resources, to be healthy, to feel good, to find mobility. So with the A-list flow, I basically try to make those programs super effective, super quick. They range from anywhere from 10-minute to 30-minute at-home training programs. And you have lots of variety: cardio, strength training, mobility, stretching, recovery, working on building out dance, because everyone keeps requesting for dance cardio. But, you know, just trying to add a little spice into people's lives, and also creating a structure that works for the busy individual. Because right now everyone's so consumed, you're working from home, you might have your kids there, you know, or your spouse there. And it's just trying to find, like you said, just you have that 1 hour in the middle of the day for you, maximizing that time. So that's why I try to make like half-hour programs. And if you ever want a longer workout, I usually do like circuit or interval style. That's like my niche, because I just think it's the most effective. You don't need to spend hours on end on a workout. Not every workout has to kill you and leave you feeling dead and drained, or you have to feel super sore after. Sometimes it's like, just go out for a 20-minute outdoor walk, you know, put on your favorite song, feel the breeze, just breathe. But also with the programs that I create too, it's just finding that time and just utilizing it for you. And there's going to be those days where you don't want to show up. There's going to be the days where you don't want to press play, but knowing that once you are in that moment, you already are starting the journey. So just really trying to stay in there. And I'm there to guide you every step of the way. With every single program, it's custom. It's not just me like filming myself doing an exercise and then saying, go and do it. I'm doing the workout with you because I want you to know how important it is to work through the nitty gritty of it. Because it's going to be like this. It's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster. You might have some high highs, some low lows, but knowing that you will get to the other side. And on the other side, you're like, this was amazing. I did it. I made it through. But it's just really propelling that platform and living that health and wellness style to the fullest. Because also too, our generation is big on, you know, pharmacy, Generation RX, and, oh, I got a headache. Okay, go take a Tylenol or go take an ibuprofen. And I'm just like, there are ways that you can deal with that without having to over medicate yourself, you know? And there's just a lot of misfortune that we're seeing, unfortunately, with the young people and drug overdose or drug abuse and things like that. So just trying to teach young people that there are other alternatives. If you're having a tough time, if you don't know how to deal with your feelings, try a workout, try a walk. Any of that stuff is good to also help take your mind somewhere else so that you're not feeling like you're stuck in your emotions.
I heard the word mindfulness earlier when you talked about the different sort of, you know, avenues of different things that are important in terms of overall wellness, overall well-being. So I've had conversations with people in the past about and listened to, you know, podcasts or listened to videos and just heard a lot about people who talk about meditation and the importance of mindfulness and just that whole mindset of, even if it's for a minute or like not even a long period of time, but just some period of time where you're not thinking about anything. I think that's from what I understood, mindfulness is kind of like trying to remove all
Just
thought.
be.
Just be exactly. So can you unpack that a little bit? So like for someone who knows the importance, maybe this might sound like a kind of weird question, but knows the importance that yes, I should incorporate some form of mindfulness into my daily or weekly routine, but hasn't done it, even though they know the importance. Maybe first steps on kind of starting that routine. Any recommendations for that?
Yeah, I can definitely go back to like what I was even going through during COVID when it was like the dead of like April and May and there was nothing going on. And every day it was kind of like, what am I here for?
Hmm.
What am I doing? So I realized for me personally, I was like, you know what? Every morning I need to spend 5 minutes and just make positive affirmations to start my day
Hmm.
and try to come up with at least five and just repetition, repeat it to myself. So I would sit there and it's not to seem corny, but it's as simple as, like I'm strong. I woke up today.
Hmm.
I'm going to have a good day. It's any little thing that is important to you, but it's that power of affirmation.
Hmm.
And it really goes back to, I always kind of connect with the sports scene. I grew up, as an athlete, as a dancer and surrounded by athletes, but one thing that I always learned in the dance world is if I'm going to do a jump or a leap or a turn, if I tell myself I'm going to fall, I fall. But if I tell myself you're going to kill it or you're going to hit that kick or that jump or that turn, or let's say you're a basketball player, I'm going to make this shot. As soon as you change that frame of mind, you activate that positive affirmation and it automatically connects to your body. There's a big connection between your mind and your gut. So any kind of doubt that you have in there, if you're doubting up here, it's going to come out through here. But if you're feeling the strength and you're feeling the power and you're believing in yourself up here, that's going to emanate throughout your entire body. And that's going to set the tone for your day. And I always say the morning too is the best time to maximize those intentions for the day.
Yeah.
Because how you start the day is going to transition through everything throughout the rest of the flow of your energy. How you start the day dictates the entire day ahead.
That's like a reminder for me because I'm telling you, when I was saying, what would you say to the person who knows blah, 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 I was actually talking about myself, which is like, I know that this is important, but yeah, haven't set up that, level of like a recurring routine yet. So not maybe, but let's do a positive affirmation right now. Tomorrow will be the first day that I kind of start this process. 5 minutes, take it first thing in the morning and just kind of let it, just let it make it happen. Be intentional about it,
Yes, and that's the biggest thing. And I will tell you this, it is not going to be easy, but you will be better for it. Because like you said, it's hard to sit still with just your thoughts.
Right.
And not thinking about, okay, I have to do this at 9 o'clock. I got to run here, this errand, make sure dinner's ready. Oh, did I do laundry? Like all those other things, you have to try to, as they come, still continue, just let them fall to the wayside.
Yeah.
And it's okay if they come. Don't feel like you're failing if you start to have those other thoughts filtering through, but come back to your intention for the day, your positive affirmations.
Right. I want to ask another question, one more question about the A-list flow and about fitness, and then we're going to go into some fun questions. I mean, not that what we were talking about wasn't fun, but some different questions that are unrelated specifically to what we were just talking about. So for someone that wants to learn more, sign up, become a member, take part in this fitness journey and kind of, help themselves with wellness overall, what would be the first step to reaching out to you, to finding out more about this platform?
With my platform, I have 3 options or 3 services that I'm offering right now. I offer one-to-one coaching where I create a custom plan it's a little bit more in depth, but just think basically virtual personal trainer that's going to walk you through everything. So that's one option. Option number 2, I do offer a monthly subscription service where basically just like you have Netflix, the A-List Flow Studio is going to be your Netflix for fitness, where you can go on, you'll get full access to all of my on-demand videos. I have over 100 plus programs to choose from, and you can go in there and you can take them. And also with my app that I have, you can track all of your stats. You can pre-schedule your workout. So that's kind of more of like workout as you go. Third service that I offer is I do private or small group training, which can be done virtually. So like, it's funny, tonight I'm hosting with one of my friends. She has a health and wellness group of women, and we're hosting a 30-minute class with probably about 40 people virtually online.
Whoa. Okay.
So yeah, I offer small group training or privates, depending on, whatever kind of speaks to the person's needs, wants, and what's going to help them feel accomplished. But just shoot me a message. I'm always here as a health resource if anyone's interested in checking out the A-List Flow. And of course, you can go to the alistflow.com, and it has all of the information on there, as well as the different services that I offer. And if there isn't something that's offered there and you're looking to connect with me and figure out how we can work together, whether it's a partnership or host an event, just feel free to shoot me a message. I'm super open. I work as a freelancer, so I'm constantly just trying to leverage, connect, meet people, and see like how we're connecting today, how we can continue to just, propel and uplift one another.
You mentioned earlier too about having a platform to be able to, first of all, for me, I'm learning in this process. I was just talking to someone earlier, like having people on to be able to connect with and inspire each other. Like I'm going to learn from this. So for myself, it's an awesome thing. Educate myself, inspire myself. I'm going to be able to share everything that you shared so far that I'm learning about to all of my audience now. So they'll be able to listen to this. They'll be able to get some value out of this. And then the third thing is be able to help lift people that are in my circle and even extended circle, right? To be able to, give them an opportunity to share about what they're doing. And to me, I feel blessed actually that I have, created this platform and that things are kind of going the direction that I envisioned. Like about 7-8 months ago when I made my first video with just me on it, just talking to a camera, I had a plan that, man, I've had some amazing conversations with people, not unlike what you and I are having right now. And I say to myself, like, I want to get these conversations out to more people. I want more people to be able to value and benefit from it. And so I'm excited that you're here today. I'm excited to be talking to you today, and I'm getting a lot of value out of this so far. So thank you so much.
I love that. No, and it's so important. I'm a true believer that we're students for life. So just like you're saying, you're taking things from me, same thing. Like I love connecting with people. I believe the universe brings people into your life for certain reasons at certain times. Yeah. And there's always some sort of takeaway that you can have with it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're gonna switch the flow up a little bit. I have a few questions for you. I wanna talk about musical artists. I wanna talk about, like, you have an opportunity, Amanda, to go to your dream concert with 5 living or dead 5 artists that you're going to see in this dream concert. I want to know who these artists are.
Michael Jackson, Bob Marley, Jennifer Lopez, which I went to last year.
Nice. Okay.
I got 2 more. Probably Cher.
Nice. Okay.
Just because she's iconic. She is. Truly, truly iconic. Mm-hmm. And then I would have to say Drake.
Wow, that's a cool list there. You got like all icons from different walks of life, different genres, let's say, for sure. But yeah, I like that. Okay. So I like how affirmative you said Michael Jackson too, because I'm also like he would be like the main person that I want to see in concert. I don't. Did you get a chance to watch the This Is It movie that he put out years ago? No.
Yeah, so not yet.
He was doing a farewell tour in London, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere overseas, shortly before he passed away, and they recorded like the rehearsals and the trainings and all these different things that he was doing leading up into the actual concert, and then they ended up turning that into a movie. So you were able to see him at his, much older age and much, I would say, like nowhere near his prime, right? Very far from where he was originally, but still that level of precision and perfection that he was kind of working towards in the studio. It was like, for me as a music guy now, kind of getting into music and stuff, that was very, very compelling to just see an expert like in his craft. It was incredible. So definitely worth checking out if you get a chance.
Oh yeah, I will definitely have to check that out. I mean, I remember watching even the Thriller movie when we were kids.
Oh man.
Over and over and over again.
Like I was about it? Were you terrified like I was?
Oh yeah, but it's like I couldn't stop watching, either way. And just the choreography. And I mean, him as an artist, that's the thing. A lot of these artists, their lifestyle's not easy
Mm.
by
Yep.
no means. Everyone sees like, oh my God, they're making millions and doing this and that, but it's a tough sacrifice that they
Yeah.
make.
Yeah.
So I truly give them grace and try to create understanding around their like ethereal earth that they live in, because it's not normal,
Mm-hmm.
and the things that they face that the average person faces are not going to be the same situation. So I really think that he was a very special person that we had here, and he had a lot that he gave to us through his music. And
Mm-hmm.
everything else, it is what it is, but for him as an artist, truly talented.
All right, so I got to ask this. So, Thriller or Off the Wall, which album was the better album of the two? I know it's a tough question, but I have to ask.
That is a tough one. I'm probably gonna have to go with Thriller.
It's a classic. Best
It's a
Thriller album of
classic,
all
and then
time.
also all of the music videos. I mean, I could
Oh
watch
man,
those all
yeah,
day.
yeah, so good. I was having a conversation with another person, same question recently, and it was stressful for her. I was looking at it was agonizing thinking of only. I was like, hey, this is supposed to be like you're supposed to enjoy this. It's
Fun.
fun. A dream concert. You're making it seem like I asked about a nightmare concert just now. It's supposed to be exciting. But no, that's
Yeah.
that's cool. I would definitely love to be at that concert as well. That sounds like a great concert for sure.
I think too, just being a dancer and like working in the entertainment industry, I just love music and all different kinds of varieties and
Yeah,
genres. So same thing. I could go on forever with that list.
yeah, yeah. Awesome, awesome. All right. So next question for you, Amanda, is if you have an opportunity to put a billboard up and have anything you want on this billboard, what would you put on this billboard?
So this is a tough one. I'm not sure if this is gonna come out correctly, but
Hmm.
just from growing up as a woman of color and not seeing representation of myself in the
Hmm.
world and on TV, I would love to have a billboard that represents that, all different shades of women
Hmm.
in their natural state, not with the straightened hair, not with the makeup, just some sort of representation of natural women as is. I just think that this is so important. And I don't know what kind of brand it would be for, but it would just be a powerful image making a statement like, this is who we are, this is what we look like, and this is what it should be.
Hmm.
I just think we're in a day and age where everything is fake eyelashes and, plastic surgery, and
Hmm.
just the authenticity of who people are is kind of getting washed away.
Yep.
And sadly, I'm seeing it starting to be reflected in my nieces who are now in their teens, and they're throwing on the makeup and they feel like they can't leave the house without that. And
Wow.
me and my
Yeah.
one girlfriend were talking about this, and she was like, do you ever remember wearing makeup when we were that age? And I was like, I mean, only for dance, like when we would go to competitions and have to perform, we'd put
Yeah.
on makeup.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see these teenagers today and I'm just like, wow, like I did not look like that. I was still wearing like sweatpants and a hoodie and crazy hair
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
14, 15 years old. So it's just a very different world. And now that I'm in, the state of mind where I'm going to be a mother one day, I would hope to be a mother one day, and I hope
Yeah.
to have a daughter. I
Yeah.
don't want her to feel like she has to be like that. I want her to
Right.
feel like she could rock her hair as is, and she can go out and not have to feel like she's put together all the time.
Right.
And also coming from the dance world, when I was an NBA dancer, they didn't allow me to wear my hair like this.
Mm.
There were a lot of things that I personally dealt with where it got to the point where I would look at myself when I was at a game and I'm like, who is this?
Hmm.
Fake eyelashes, makeup, straight hair. I was like, this is not who I am. Like, I'm a tomboy. I'm a very low key girl that just likes to just
Yeah.
be as I am.
Yeah.
So if I could have a billboard that represents something like that for some other little girl to pass by and see herself and
Yeah.
feel represented and know it's okay to be like that, that would be an ultimate goal.
That's incredible. I think that would stand out so much. And like you said, it would be in stark contrast to what we're used to seeing. What we're used to seeing in, on social media, magazine, entertainment in general. You see things that are not authentic, right? So something like this is giving people, girls, like you said, little girls, a chance to see this and be inspired to know that this is okay. And it's even more than okay. This is great to be this confident in yourself, to be able to just be you, or just be, as you said just now. I like that. Yeah. Very good. Very good. All right. So this next question, I have to change up a little bit. So I usually ask, what was the best advice that you've ever been given? But that's another stressful question, because you may not know exactly what the best is. But what's a great piece of advice that you feel like you were given in your life that kind of spoke to you, that stuck with you and helped you become who you are today?
I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got was from my coach. It was probably my second year that I was on the Brooklyn Nets dance team. Mm-hmm. And every year you have to re-audition for the team. Mm-hmm. So you never know who's coming for your spot, and you might not remake the team. Some girl might take your spot. So we would always host workshops for potential auditionees to come and just get a taste of what the audition is going to be like. And I remember her speaking to the girls and telling them that don't try to be somebody else, just be yourself. And it's so simple, but it's after being in a world where everyone's getting dressed up and like we were just talking about, it's very easy to lose who you are. And I think it's important to stay true to who you are and let that shine through, because that's what's going to set you apart from somebody else, not trying to be like somebody else. Like you said, it sounds so simple, but it is difficult for a lot of people, unfortunately, to actually be themselves. And especially, I think for myself, for example, like I think about when someone is acting authentic, that's like one of the things, as from what I'm thinking about with the YouTube channel and how to appeal to people. The best way to do that is to be yourself, is to be authentic, and people will see that, because there's, unfortunately, in that space and in any space that you go, I guess, and just in general for entrepreneurs, you're going to find people who are not that more often than you find people who are. And so if you're authentic, that's a huge thing that you have going for you, for sure. Yeah, I know. That was my biggest takeaway. When she said that, I was like, light bulb, like, just be me. And it's funny to hear you say that, because you're like, I'm this, I'm that. I'm the same way. I'm goofy. And I don't think people see that. They always see like, oh, she's put together and she's pulled up. And like when I was on the Nets, that was a big thing, because we would always have to be kind of pulled up and put together. There's celebrities in the house, there's big players in the building, and it's just like, that's not human. That's not approachable. Like you want to feel approachable and you want to feel like you can connect with people. And the only way to connect is to just kind of strip those layers of like self-doubt and just open yourself up and let that natural, organic personality shine through. For someone watching this right now who, hopefully most, if not all people, know the importance of wellness and fitness, but for someone watching that knows the importance, but just does not know where to begin, what would be your one piece of advice to say, this is what I recommend you do to start? Anyone that's starting their wellness journey, it's going to be so simple, but just start it. Literally just don't judge yourself. Don't be afraid, and don't put up roadblocks that aren't there. Just keep the pathway open. And I just recently finished a health course, and one of the big takeaways I had from that was every day is a fresh start. You know what I mean? So maybe there's a day that, or, a lot of people do this when they're eating. They get like, oh my God, I had a really bad day. I cheated on my diet and I did all this stuff. And it's just like, instead, change your frame of mind. I had a conscious indulgence. I enjoyed that pumpkin pie or those Dunkin' Donuts or whatever it is, and move on from it. Don't dwell in that doubt. Don't dwell in that and try to demean yourself. Everyone's human, and it's all about balance. So if you're just looking to start the journey, just do it. Wherever you're going to start, everyone starts somewhere. And there's going to be days where you're going to fall down, and there's going to be days when you do fall down, you have to just get back up, brush your shoulders off, and just keep pushing forward. I love that. I love it. Hope you guys were listening. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And like you said, some of the things that are the most
profound could be the most simple, could be the most basic thing. It's not like here's the code to get this, but this is just gonna start the process for you. And everyone's start might be different. This person's start might be, I guess, going for a 10-minute or a 30-minute walk every day. The next person's start could be that, you know, something about the way they eat. Maybe every single day, if they feel like they have no sense of, you know, healthy eating, maybe one day they're consciously saying, all right, this day I'm actually, you know, going to not eat anything bad for me, not eat anything that I know is bad for me, right? And just kind of start the process and then build from there, right? Get that foundation and then build from there. I love it.
Yeah. And that's exactly it, is just identifying those areas you want to improve and find ways to do it. And remember that it's going to be different for everybody. So what works for me might not work for you, but what works for you might work for somebody else, you know? So it's all about that connectivity, sharing, and figuring out what works for you so that you personally feel successful. So that, especially when I'm working with my clients, that's the biggest thing I go through, them dealing with not being able to remember that they need to drink water. And it's all little things. They can't sleep at night. I'm like, how about, have you put your phone down 2 hours before you go to bed? Like all these little things affect our health. And it's not just our workout or our diet. It's like I said, those mindful habits and healthy habits, and just reinstilling them and creating consistency around them.
The fact that you're so conscious about all of these different things that work together, not just fitness, not just eating healthy, not just mindfulness, but now you're mentioning another thing that I think is extremely important, the phone before bedtime, like that type of thing. Like most of us don't realize how much damage that's doing. We don't realize that that is something that's doing, that's a heavy word, but I think it's true. I think it's doing a lot, knowing that that's the first thing and the last thing. I've heard people say that first thing. Starting and ending the day. It is true. When I finished, I don't know if you had a chance to watch the Social Dilemma documentary on Netflix.
Not yet. I need to. Yeah.
When I finished watching that, Amanda, I wouldn't say overreacted, but I reacted the way that I think a lot of people may react after watching that, especially realizing that social media and phone and technology for both of us is an extremely important tool, asset, something that's going to be important for both of us, for our businesses that we're doing. But what I kind of took from that was, you know, there's two different ways to use it. There's the way of using it so that you could, you know, promote your content, share ideas, you can give back, you can put content there to help people. And then there's another way that we use it, which is like the negative side of seeing everything everyone is doing and always feeling like you need to be in the know and comparing, you know, why didn't we do this? This couple did this and all that type of stuff. And it's extremely dangerous. And they touched on that in the episode. I'm going to hit you up like in a week or two or something. I'll give you a little time to go ahead and watch it. I would love to hear your opinion, because that stuff ties into what you just mentioned for sure, you know?
I know. And it's like little things, but they really do, especially during COVID. I'm sure many of us have realized how damaging, like you said, it's been just on mental health. So that, I think, is like the takeaway of 2020. Mental health, put yourself first. Take time for you. Take a little time for you every day, even if it's 5 minutes. Just make sure you spend some time on yourself.
Yeah, love it, love it. Okay, I want you, please, to share one more time how my viewers can link with you, and then we're going to wrap up.
Absolutely, guys. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at the Amanda Robinson. You can also check out my wellness method at the A-List Flow. And then of course, be sure to check out, I have 2 websites. One that is my personal, activewithamanda.com, and then my health and wellness platform, thealistflow.com. So feel free to give me a follow, shoot me a DM, say what's up, say hi, or if there's a way that I can be a resource for you, know that I'm here. Or if you want to connect, to collab, let me know.
Thank you so very much. This exceeded my expectations. I was excited for it. I think we got some great information, and I can't wait to get this out to everyone. So let me say bye to my audience. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you guys found some value in this. I'm sure that there's a lot of different takeaways that you guys could start applying to your life. Take at least one or two of these things that we shared and just kind of start. And I think that'll be a huge uplift in your life. I want to say thank you to Amanda for hopping on.
Thank you, Kevin, for having me. It was such a blast. I can't wait to see it come out. So definitely share.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You about to get the tag. Don't worry. You about to get it.
I love it.
All good. Thank you so much. Okay. Have a great rest of the day and I will see you later.
You too. Send my love to wifey.
Will do. Take care. All right.
Good night.
Good night.